Thank you, Your Worship. Colleagues, although our citywide London Pride Festival does not take place until July, activities and events are taking place this month as Canada officially recognizes Pride Month in June, and I rise to recognize that today. I want to take this opportunity to recognize that I personally can be here in this chamber today as a duly elected official because of the work of so many others who came before me, who stood strong in the face of discrimination and oppression, and who stood to say enough was enough and demanded that 2S LGBTQ plus people be treated equally. I want to specifically highlight the 2S part of that acronym because Indigenous cultures long recognized two-spirited people in their cultures as equals, and it was only the arrival of the Europeans that criminalized homosexuality on Turtle Island. Another example of the lessons we can learn from our Indigenous peoples. And after centuries of persecution, in 1969, then Justice Minister, and eventually Prime Minister, Pierre Trudeau decriminalized same-sex activity with Bill C-150 and uttered his famous words, "There is no place for the state in the bedrooms of the nation." However, decriminalization was only a step in the fight for acceptance and equality. And we have our own history of discrimination and oppression of the LGBTQ2S plus community right here in London, of course, with former Mayor Diane Haskett and members of council in 1995 refusing to proclaim Pride Week, or former Police Chief Julian Fantino's gay witch hunt. Believe it or not, while councillors like Gina Barber and Cheryl Miller or MPs like Irene Matheson have been participating in Pride festivities for many years, it was not until the 2011 Pride that then Mayor Joe Fontana and Police Chief Brad Duncan first participated in a Pride parade in this community. That's barely a decade ago, before we had a mayor and a police chief participate in Pride. And it was only in 2018 that the previous council, two previous councils ago, apologized for that 1995 discrimination, thanks in part to support from former councillor Jesse Helmer and current mayor and then Ward 7 councillor Josh Morgan. And I thank you for that, Your Worship. But as far as we've come, make no mistake, discrimination and outright threats to the 2S LGBTQ plus community continue to this day. We saw acts of harassment at Wortley Pride last summer, and as recently as today, threats have been made of a repeat attempt to disrupt the event this weekend. And of course, we've seen the outright targeting of the 2S LGBTQ plus community by the council in Norwich, which bowed to bullies and banned pride flags on municipal property, leading to the resignation of Councillor Alicia Stubbs in protest. But I want to close by thanking all of you, the members of this council, the members of our senior leadership team, the amazing staff of our PRISM group here at City Hall, who've shown yourself to be allies of and members of a strong 2S LGBTQ plus community in London today. And I want to thank all of those Londoners who've reached out and expressed their support to me personally as I've spoken out against the renewed attacks on our community. So finally, I'm going to borrow a slogan that dates back, at least as far as I could find, to the Stonewall riots in the USA, perhaps farther. But to all the bullies out there who apparently are so insecure in their own sexual identity that they want to intimidate and silence us, we're here, we're queer, get used to it.